So this is an overview video to give you an idea of what's gonna happen when you use the zone and how you can use it. I won't go into too much detail of how you can actually use it. I have a separate video tutorial for that. But in general, what you would do is put this blueprint zone into the level, and then you have some options in here that you can change to make the zone work however you want to work. You have the particles, sounds, filters if you don't want all of the actors to overlap with it. And then you have your time dilation in and out, and also instances and stuff like that. But I wanted to go over some uses that I found for it. I tried to kind of be creative, see what I can do, but let's click play and see. So first you have the classic use of these zones, which would be slow motion. So you're in the zone, everything is in slow motion, and then you go out and things are not in slow motion. Right now I think this zone is per actor, meaning that when I go into the zone, only my actor is in slow motion, but we can also make the whole world go slow motion. Then we have fast motion, that basically means if we are in the zone, we are faster. That's kind of the most basic uses that you would use this, but here is another use. So we stand on this button and want to go through the door. I try to run, but I don't have enough speed. So then I go into this zone and I have an activation where it only activates when I go in. So we can see how we are slowed down, but when I go in again, we sped up. So basically this zone will take or give us speed when we go in, basically. And now that I have some speed, I'm gonna stand on the button, and now I have enough speed to go through the zone. Now let's reset. Next, what we can do is slow motion zone. So basically what I created here is try to kind of combine my my plugin in kind of interesting ways. So when we go into this zone, as you can see, this contraption is getting slower, but my character is still the same speed. If I go out, now my character is also same speed, but the world is faster, or the normal speed. So basically what I did is created two zones that are on each other. One zone increases the speed of my character, while the other zone slows down everything. So basically the two speeds cancel out on my character and his normal speed, but the world is half the speed, and this gives me way more control over how I can pass this level. So now it's way easier. While it's the normal speed, it will be way harder to pass this part. So that's another use. And then the third use is this. So if I go over this ramp, I added a zone in between that kind of should catch my character only when he's jumping. So if I try to jump, we can see my character went into slow motion and then went back. And that's kind of one of the uses that you can use it for. If you have maybe like a ramp and the car needs to go on the ramp, but you don't want to create some complicated way to calculate when the car should go into the slow motion or stuff like that, you can just put a simple zone. It's literally 20 to 30 seconds of work. You can just put the zone default, not default options. I think you need to change like one or two options, and then just scale the zone so it's appropriately positioned, and that's about it. It should work nicely. So we go into the zone, activate the sound, and everything works. Then we have lose and gain speed. When we are in the zone, everything's fine, but when you leave the zone, we are in slow motion. So this is basically kind of using the zone as like a giver or taker of speed. So if I go into this zone and leave it, now we are 2 times as fast. And if we want to reset our speed, we can go to reset to normal speed. So that's kind of some uses that I found when I was creating this sample level. So kind of I'll give you more kind of a broader idea of what this plugin can do, instead of just creating zones where you can go in and just increase or decrease the speed. So now that we have that out of the way, we can go over just some blueprints. So there is only two blueprints. One is the blueprint you actually use to create the zones, and then we have BPI time dilation. This is basically an interface that helps you trigger events when you go in and out of the zone. So what we can do is maybe, let's say in the character, let's go to the class, add an interface, find time dilation, and let's say start time, and we can just print. If you ever used interfaces, this is pretty simple setup. There is nothing crazy happening. We can even maybe print the name of the zone. Let's click play. And it's gonna tell us which zone we entered. And you can basically use it to trigger whichever events you want. I also gave some options for time dilation in and out, so you know basically how much your character is slowed down or sped up. Just some easy, nice information that I think people would want if they were using this interface. Let's close this up. Next thing, let's go into the blueprint, just give you a general idea of how things are working. I'm just gonna close everything in here. First, we have construction script in here. We just set a static mesh to whatever our shape mesh is, so you can have your own custom meshes. Then we also set the instances, because we have a variable instance, to instance static mesh. So basically you have your own custom instances of the objects, and you save everything. And that's basically it for construction script. The save changes, which if you watch the tutorial video, you'll know that this is used to basically save your changes, so you need to click this frequently, especially when you're transforming your zones. So save changes, what it does, let's actually go in. It just locally saves the zone transforms, so you can later not log in, but load them. This won't be translated to your packaged game. This is just for you locally as a developer to work with. So this is kind of one of the ways that I solved the issue where you'd be losing some progress or couldn't save, because we have our own transform array for instances, while we also have the instances from the instance static mesh. So they were kind of conflicting when you were transforming a specific instance of the static mesh. It's kind of complicated, but basically it kind of solves it. I think it's not perfect. There is some little issues, but if I manage to solve them, I'm going to update the plugin. So let's give a general idea. So this is basically all of the code. It looks pretty small, and that's because I try to make it as compact as possible. So you have the begin overlap, the end overlap, and then the tick. The tick is basically evaluating if there is some fade-ins, fade-outs. If there is nothing, it won't do much. And then these begin overlaps just check the filters, and then check in and out and see what they need to activate. So this begin overlap never activates this out only activation type, while the end overlap in only does not activate ever. So only in and out only. And basically when we start the overlap event, we have an array for our start overlap. So basically we put an actor that is currently entering the zone into an array, and we figure out his blend times, and then we use that in the calculation that is happening in here basically. And then we have our out or end overlap event, where we do the similar thing, where we transfer to an out array our actor, and then just blend him out, and after we blend him out, we also remove him. So that's kind of the general idea. And then we have the actual blends. So this is the fade in. This is probably the most messy blueprint that I have in here, and I think it's even that messy. It's okay. There is some cleanup that I will do in the future. But basically we are getting the keys values, and then just looping over the actors that are in the zone and changing some values. And this is basically the same for fade out, only it's a little bit different, where we are actually removing the actor completely out of the array, because we don't want to hold storage or deal with the character that left the zone. So yeah, there is some little stuff in here where we activate visual effects, do some stuff. So we play the sound, we spawn the particles. In the future I was thinking to add a feature where the particles are continuously activating, or are activated continuously while you're in the zone. This might be nice to have like some trails or something for the characters when he's in the zone. but that feature is still not implemented. I also have a link on the marketplace page if you want to request features that that can help a lot, where I actually know what to focus my time on when I'm updating the plugin. But yeah, I think that's generally it. As you can see, it's not complicated. If you spend 15-20 minutes and you are at least intermediate Unreal Engine developer, you should be able to figure out generally how stuff works, and you can even modify it, add your own stuff if you want, maybe to add some more effects, modify how things work. You can easily modify this blueprint. It's fully inside the blueprint, so you don't have to worry about any C++, any stuff like that. So yeah, that's Time Dilation Zone plugin.